25 minutes past 9 Central African time, and we're going to be swiftly moving along to a very, very concerning conversation. We all know that the right to peacefully protest in South Africa is one of the cornerstones of South Africa's democracy. It is protected by the Constitution. But questions are now being raised about whether that right was respected during the recent SADC summit out in Durban. Human rights activists allege that a small peaceful demonstration highlighting concerns over xenophobia, Afrophobia, and human rights across the region was met with an overwhelming police presence, creating what was described as an atmosphere of intimidation rather than protection. The South African Palestine movement says just 10 protesters were confronted by dozens of police officers before later moving their demonstration to the ANC's provincial offices. To help us understand what really transpired in that regard, and I think most importantly why it matters, we're joined by human rights peace activist Saydoon Sayed, who's joining us via our virtual platforms. Saydoon, good morning. Jazakallah so much for joining us. Welcome to the show once again.
Good morning. Assalamu alaikum. Happy to be on your show.
Pleasure is all ours. I want to jump right into it. If you can just take us back to the demonstration. What was the purpose of the protest outside the SADC summit, and what message were you hoping to send to Africa's regional leaders?
Very importantly, we need to defend Africa's unity. And knowing that the summit was taking place at the Durban International Convention Center, right on our doorstep, we as activists and who are hands-on the crisis of the refugees in Durban, especially those at the Che Guevara Road outside the Home Affairs office, we had a picket at ICC. And as you rightfully mentioned, it is our constitutional right. We are within law. And we decided that since we have SADC members in Durban, we will host a peaceful demonstration. When we got there at 12:30 yesterday, there were few SAPS police officers around the area, like maybe 2 or 3. As soon as we began assembling, our other comrades started coming in, and we had our sound system on with South African demonstration songs. And then we were confronted with 1, 2, 3 van loads of police officers. And they asked us to leave, telling us that that was a no-go area, that space was not for us to picket or demonstrate. Alhamdulillah, at the moment, we had 2 legal representatives with us. And we very boldly asked them, what is the reason for us to move? And so from the entrance of the ICC, we went across the road, and they didn't want us to move there as well. They came with a mandate to move us to Gugu Dlamini Park, which is at the workshop. It's far away from the ICC. And what message are we going to take to that commuting people around that area? Our message was very, very clear. We are saying yes to Ubuntu. South Africa is a rainbow nation. Where and when did we lose it? I can't believe to understand. And a small group of people are causing mayhem, and they are given the right to kill, name, maim, abuse the refugees, asylum seekers, the foreigners. And we committed to law, were within our ambit, protesting against xenophobia, Afrophobia, race, everything that goes with us as South Africans. And so when we got across the road, again, another plus minus 10 cops came to us and asked us, within 10 minutes, we need to move. Fortunately, around the area of the ICC is the ANC offices. And we decided which will be closest. And at that moment in time, it was raining. And so we decided, let's go to the ANC offices. And when we got to the ANC offices, to our surprise, the doors were closed on us, literally, or just closed, but we were outside, and we were 14 of us. And so the police came after maybe about 10 minutes again and asked us to disperse. And we resisted as long as we could, because we know before we take on any of these pickets, protest action, we inform our contacts at SABC, at the SAP's office, at Metro office. This is what we're going to do. We have no fear, and our boldness sticks out. We want to show the world that there's just a handful of South Africans that are causing major problem in the country, and we also want to let the world know that they are the good people in South Africa, and we want to save our country from mayhem that's going to come. And we can see the repercussion of this 30th of June and subsequent every Thursday's initiatives that's taking place. At Che Guevara, we have documented refugees there, and they are still facing harassment. But we, as peaceful protesters, were not in any way doing anything wrong for the police to harass us. Whereas they even told us that they'll call in the army and carry us away. This is not South Africa. These are not what law enforcement people should be telling us. In fact, they should have been, they should just stand by, watch us, because as activists, we will not harm a fly. We will not damage anything. Our message is peaceful, and we want the world to see that we don't want any of this, anti stuff in our country, in our suburb, in any way that we are engaged in.
Before I let you go, did the police given, a reason why there was such huge police presence, why there was so aggression? You mentioned that, you had two legal representatives there. Were they able to interact with them and, try and understand why they could have been so aggressive to you guys?
We can't understand. We engaged them. We tried to prolong our time there. And if you see on social media, on South Africa Palestine movement, we had the press there. And so we were there very peaceful. We had Africa flags from different countries in Africa, just showing that Africa needs to unite in this time. Our message was not aggressive. We said, an injury to one African is an injury to all Africans. And this is what constitutional right we had. And this was our message. We engaged them. And many of us have engaged SAPs in the past. We've got permission for our demonstration and so on. But I think it's just the hype of this time that, the police are just being aggressive. We're seeing them, what they are doing to the refugees as well. And maybe they wanted to make their mark, but we didn't allow them to take any credit, because no matter if we were 1 or 14, our message was no to all these kind of mayhem, racism, xenophobia, and so on. So we are going to engage them. Hopefully today, tomorrow. And as soon as we got back from the picket, where the picket was supposed to be for 2 hours and we had to leave in an hour's time, and also the rain played on us as well, but that did not deter us. But it was the harassment and the intimidation of the police that we decided that we should leave. But as soon as we got back, we sent our statement to SAPS, notifying them of what has transpired. And we did it immediately. We didn't wait for an hour or two. We got back, and in our layman language, we told them that this was not part of our constitution, and this was not what we as South African who want to build our nation be harassed in that light.
Very, very concerning, Sister Saydoon. Jazakallah so much for sharing that with us. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. Take
And with,
care.
and with that, we're going to take a quick break. I'll be back with you after this.